Kubfu is a Pokemon you don't usually see at all ever, and there's a good reason for it, and today's video probably will show us as to why that is. Unfortunately, we're not getting off to a good start here. We are facing against the Mono Pink team, which mad props to my opponent for that being, but that also means that they have a lot of Psychic and Fairy types, so Kubfu probably is not going to be doing a whole lot. Now my opponent could lead off with Ditto to Scout, they could lead off with Rapidash, which is decent. If they lead off with Rapidash, if it's special, it messes up the blade. And if it's physical, then the blade would check it nicely. Then we got that Galvantula, and although Galvantula's sticky webs could be useful, it also allows Lurantis to get a +1 to speed, and only really helps with Rapidash. So I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to get toxic to my Articuno. I am not a setup Articuno on this set on Feature Site. I don't know if that'll help too much, but maybe. And then with Savali Fairy, which is actually pretty decent in the late game, so I want to keep that healthy if I can. Although I have to get rid of the Ditto first. Alright, I think I'm going to lead off maybe with a Blade just to see what's up. Okay, they do go to Ditto and Scout there. I'm going to go Wheezing here. It's a fairly obvious play, but it's one we need to make. I'm actually going to click Toxic Spikes. I think that's a strong option. Okay. Now, Musharna shouldn't... Well, maybe it has Shadow Ball. If it has Shadow Ball, that's a problem. Let's see if they have Shadow Boss switch-ins here. Is that actually at speed and I crit it? I will take that. They don't have a switch into this as far as I can tell. Okay, good. So that's one mon down. Now their Ditto, even though they come in and transform into the Steel type, they are Ditto when they first switch in, so they are poisoned. I will take that. Once again, I'm just going to go into Wheezing. They can't really touch the Wheezing with the Blade. And at this point, I'm going to click the Will-O-Wisp, because I thought they might go into Rapidash there, yep. And then they actually just forfeit. So hey, we'll take that. And now we've got another Lurantis team. The Lurantis team plus Frostmoth combination makes me think that maybe the Sticky Web is not too great. The Sandaconda is one mon I was worried about, not gonna lie. I do have Wheezing though with Levitate, so it should be able to help in that regard. Shadow Sneak from the Blade is pretty good. I do have to be careful about giving Frostmoth a boost, because Frostmoth is quite strong Pokemon. And then, besides that, I noticed that if I can weaken the Sandaconda, that the Galvantula will do a lot of work. We're a more offensive set. We don't have Giga Drain, but we do... we're not locked in, so we won't be stuck just clicking one move. I'm going to actually lead off with my... No, it's Savali. I'm going to lead off with Articuno. Yeah, as there's no way you stay in here. I can throw off a Feature Site. And if they do, I suppose, it's no big deal. Okay, I'm going to U-turn here. And then I'm going to go into Sandaconda. Or rather, to Galvantula, sorry. Because then... my Sandaconda can come out. Otherwise, what do you go into here? I'm going to click Thunder here to actually sack that, which I will take. Cool. They know... Well, they don't actually know what my Wheezing is, so it's a little bit surprising that they set up Toxic Spikes, because I feel like that really didn't get you much. I'm also very surprised they went into Lurantis. They may think I'm Choice Specs, but I'm not. That was an okay scout on their part, but I don't know how I feel about it still. Okay, so now I can Volt Switch here into the I could go Wheezing on this. I think I sort of have to. I have to go for Toxic. So they've got Toxic Spikes and Toxic. And then I can go for the... I could go for Toxic Spikes of my own. Maybe I'll do just that. Okay, so it looks like my opponent either is trying to predict me to make an unnecessary play, but I don't even know what does body press do for you, right? I'm not really going to be too threatened by you, I don't think. Okay, so toxic, body press, iron defense, and protect. So actually, let's click Will-O-Wisp here. That'll be good. So even at +6, I don't really think this is going to do too much to me, and I have Pain Split. I'm just going to start spamming Toxic Spikes. Like, what am I supposed to do here, right? Keep Weezing healthy for the Sandaconda, yes. But at this point, Cofagrigus isn't going to do too much. It's burned, and it could Iron Defense up some more, but I don't really know. Okay, Articuno is going to come out here. What are they going to do to me? I'm going to go into the Blade, I think. Okay, and now I go, let's see. I'm just going to go straight for a Shadow Claw. Hit Shadow Sneak. Shadow Sneak then is the play. They're going to go for the flinch. Oh, they were weakness policy. That's unfortunate. But I am fast Galvantula. So I'm just going to click Volt Switch here. I don't really want to be in with Galvantula because I don't want to let Frostmoth set up on me. I'm going to go into Weezing because I guess I'm okay with Frostmoth setting up on Weezing for whatever reason. They actually didn't go Frostmoth. They went back into Cofagrigus. Well, I will take it. Okay. So now what do we do here? I'm just going to throw off another Toxic Spike. Okay, good. My opponent forfeited. So I haven't got to use Kubfu at all yet so far. Let's go into a little bit as to why Kubfu isn't so great while we're waiting for another battle. So Kubfu has a passable 90 attack stat for being a base Pokemon. But on the other hand, look at the rest of its stats. It has 60-ish and just about everything else, so it has no defenses. And then its speed tier isn't great either. Alright. Looking at my opponent's team, they could lead off with the Galvantula of their own. If they elect to do so, then either my own Galvantula... my Galvantula isn't a bad lead. As a lead off with Claydol. So that's a nice play on my opponent's part, I suppose. They could have Earth Power. And then Rapid Spin almost surely. So I'm going to go into Weezing, I think. Okay. And I'm going to just throw off a Will-O-Wisp. Okay. And then I'm going to set up a... I'm going to Sludge Bomb here. Oh, they do have Psychic. Okay. So they have Psychic and Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin. Do they have Earth Power as their last move? I don't know. I guess we'll find out here. They do have Earth Power. But I live, which is all that matters. Now, Shadow Sneak is pretty obvious, but I do want the Claydol on because Claydol actually messes up this team pretty badly. Got a Shadow Claw here. That's the Sticky Web, yep. That's pretty obvious. We actually get rid of the Galvantula too. Hey, I'll take that, right? That's a really good value, I think. And they're going to go for Fire Blast and smack Mortar. There's no drawback for that play. That was a fine play, I think. And now, unfortunately, I don't have much for this. My Galvantula is Heavy Duty Boots, though. So let's assume this Magmortar is not Choice Scarf. And do some calcing. Magmortar, PU Wall Breaker. Yeah, Boots makes sense. Galvantula Thunder only does 50 to 60%. But... well... That's all Volley Fairy, maybe? I don't really know what I want to do here. I could go with that Galvantula here. I can Volt Switch. Oh, they are Choice Scarf. Okay. So if they're Choice Scarfed, then I'm going to go into my Silvally with Rock Slide. And that doesn't even kill them. That's unfortunate. So now I have to hope that they miss. Are they going to miss though? Let's quick close combat here, as they are Silvally Fairy. I'm going to go Weezing. I don't know. I don't think Weezing's going to help. The Prodigy can have Psychic Fangs. Or Crunch works too. Articuno is a speed tie. I have to Hurricane confuse them. No, we didn't get the confusion. Alright. Fair enough. So, while like I was saying before, Kubfu doesn't have any stats to speak of besides its attack stat, which is not even great. 72 speed is pretty bad. But at least, in theory, if we fight some fat mons, then Kubfu will outspeed that, and close combat's still a strong move. Inner Focus isn't really great. It did get buffed this generation to give you Intimidate, but besides that, really Kubfu's not going to want to take Fake Outs. The only one I can think of that would be situationally useful is I feel like sometimes Berserkers run Fake Out, and then you could close combat the Berserker, and that's the only thing I can think of. But besides that, you should never have to deal with that. Okay, here we've got Kadabra, which is fast and somewhat of an issue. Not much of an issue. They have no electric immunity. So I'm going to go Galvantula and I'm going to Volt Switch. I don't think it's value to get up Sticky Web when they have at least 2 potential Defoggers. Okay. But then the question is, what do we go into here, right? Because Shadow Ball is very free against me. Like, extremely free. I think I'm going to sack Kubfu here. Yeah. That's a bit unfortunate. Alright. I'm going to go into Silvally. And I'm just going to click the multi-attack. Because I want the Curse Blood dead. So I'll take that. Also, another news. Was that weak armor? I think that might have been weak armor. Okay. Now, as we saw the last game, I don't have anything for Magmortar. I have no fire switchings on this team. But fortunately, it looks like they are not the Choice Scarf variant. So, we're lucky on that regard. Full switch kills this Magmortar. And now what do we want them to go into? They have Vikavolt, which is a problem. I'm going to go to Blade, I think, is the correct play here. They should always go Vikavolt, yeah. And so, I'm going to Shadow Claw here. As they are what looks to be choice specs. I need to keep this alive. I'm going to go Galvantula on you. And I'm going to Volt Switch again here. And sack the Weezing. Hurricane, always me necked, thankfully. Now the reason we had to keep the Blade was because we need it for the Kadabra, in case it's like Focus Sash or some nonsense. Okay. Now Archeops just wins, unfortunately. So let's Hurricane you. Oh wow, Ancient Power. Okay, well, we can play off the Confusion chance. That is one thing we have going for us, and we actually got it. So we hacks our opponent, and I will take that all day. Not that we've even got particularly hacks in this game, but still, I'll take it. Okay. I'm gonna go for the Shadow Sneak here, because I don't want to waste the Galvantula. I don't really think it makes that big of a difference. What? What just happened? Okay, so the Glaceon didn't want to take Shadow Sneak chip, so they said, surely Ice Shard will kill the Blade. It's only got 4% HP. I understand that, and I also don't even think it's that strange to have Ice Shard on Glaceon. Glaceon has really bad moves, and so having Freeze Dry, Blizzard, Shadow Ball, Wish, like what are you supposed to run on Glaceon? It doesn't get jack. But Ice Shard did not kill the blade, so maybe they should have calced that, because I don't think that the 20% chip from Shadow Sneak that I would have gotten off, right? It does 20%. So 20% more, now you're 60%. I don't think you're going to have to worry about Galvantula, especially if you have Ice Shard, because I think it would do 25% to Galvantula. And there's no way Galvantula does 60% to Glaceon. Glaceon's got good SpDef. So I don't think that worked out for my opponent. But hey, we'll take it. Alright. We got Ribombee, Heatmore, Archeops. The Archeops is definitely an issue. I don't want to sack my Weezing until I've dealt with the Archeops. The Hitmonchan means that they're probably not going to worry too much about Sticky Web. I do think leading off with the Silvally could be interesting. Let's try that. Okay, as they lead off with Heatmore, I'm going to click Rock Slide here. We don't have a Fire Resist like we said before, and if I can get the Heatmore dead, I will take it. They don't really have a good Rock Slide switch in, and they can get Sucker Punch chip off all they want, right? Sucker Punch is annoying, and they shouldn't have gotten that chip off, and maybe it'll make a difference later down the road. This maybe like Hitmonchan or something, but I don't feel like, well, if I'd gotten that off, then the Heatmore would have been dead. That's probably a big one. Okay, I think I'm gonna go to Blade on you. I don't want to sack this, and then I'm going to Swords Dance up. Maybe Swords Dance is a bad play because it lets them get up a substitute. And we'll have to see how things go from there. But yeah, they go Heatmore. Then let's check the calc here. Heatmore, PU, mixed attacker, sure, why not? That's probably what it is. +2. Shadow Sneak does 57% minimum. I'll take that roll. Okay, well, did not. And now they're almost surely going to Sucker Punch. I think there's no way they don't Sucker Punch. Yep, like that. Now I'm just going to multi-attack. Multi-attack is really good against everything they've got left, and it kills the Heatmore, so that'll be fine. So unfortunately we got a lot of damage off on the Blade. Although look at that, Fire Lash only doing 37%. That's really embarrassing, I gotta say. Okay, Archeops comes out. I don't really have a good switch into this except for Weezing. But hopefully it's not special. It could very well be special. This is a pretty safe Exeggutor or maybe Choice Specs Ribombee. If they go Ribombee, I'm not going to stay in. If they go Exeggutor, I also will not stay in. Obviously. Okay. My Articuno doesn't really deal with anything except for this on their team. And I'm going to U-turn here. It's 4 times super effective, and since they're +1, even though Articuno is a bit weaker, I think it still is not bad. Okay, yeah, and if they switch out, then I get to bring out Kubfu. Alright, Kubfu, do your thing. Now, Ironhead is a good play here, because it deals with this, it deals with Archeops, it deals with Ribombee, and yeah, just about everything else. Oh, wow. That's sort of pathetic. It only did 44%. Oh, Cradley is a big beefy boy, but still I would have expected that to have done more. But cool. Kubfu got its first kill of the live, and we're only however many minutes into the live that we are in. And now at this point they should go Archeops, I feel. But they may just click U-turn again. That's probably the safe play for them to click, because they know that Weezing should come out, and Weezing will come out. I'm not about to throw away Kubfu. Although actually, I don't know. Like, what is Kubfu even doing at this point in the game? It's out speeding Hitmonchan, maybe, if it's a bulkier Hitmonchan. And doing like 60% with close combat, choice band. But it has to contend with Exeggutor and Ribombee potentially coming out on it. A bit annoying. But hey, at least Kubfu got a kill. And that's the main thing to take away from that. Now we still do have our Blade. We've got 25% HP left, which isn't great, but probably enough to live an Ice Punch from Hitmonchan and then get off a Shadow Sneak. But they should have Throat Chop. Although maybe not. Let's see. What would you have on Hitmonchan? Drain Punch, Ice Punch, some form of priority, and then Rapid Spin? Maybe you wouldn't have Throat Chop on this set. Maybe you would. I'm not sure what they're running. And then Silvally still around, which is nice for Hitmonchan unless they have Bullet Punch. And is also quite good for Exeggutor. Let's see if my opponent decides to make a move. Oh, actually, while I wait for my opponent to make a move. So one question you might be asking yourself, the Kubfu, it's a basic Pokemon, it can evolve into a different Pokemon. Why can't we use this in Little Cup? Is it because it's a legendary? And the answer to that is no. You could, in theory, use Kubfu in Little Cup. If I understand things correctly, you could use Kubfu in Little Cup. But the problem is that Kubfu you get at level 10 in the game, and that's the only place that Kubfu has been released. So Little Cup requires the Pokemon be level 5 naturally, and so you can't use a Pokemon in Little Cup if it hasn't been released as a Pokemon that can get to level 5. So cannot use Kubfu until you get a level 5 or level 1 or whatever Kubfu. And that probably won't happen at least until Pokemon Go, and I don't even know if Pokemon Go would put out a Kubfu with low enough CP to transfer in at level 1. So probably won't see Kubfu anytime in the near future in Little Cup. But yeah, that'll be it for the video today, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time.